everybody, it's Brooke with Mrs. Cog Hill Farm, and I'm just about to freeze. It's after lunch, but the temperatures are still very, very cold. And I tell you, I picked a bad day for a project that requires a little bit of outside time. But this is going to be a 2-day project. So we're going to start off by showing you what I have. And this is just your old wooden stool. You may have one sitting around your house or stored away. Don't know who that was meowing, but I picked it up at a thrift store. I had been on the lookout for one for quite some time and finally found one that was around $10. I didn't feel so bad about buying it. It's kind of tall and I have a project in mind. So before we do anything else today, I am going to get this painted up, and I'm not going to tell you what my plan is. You're going to have to guess as we go. The top is not very important, I will tell you that. It is painted as, I guess you would say, a lemon on the top, supposed to look like a sliced open lemon. And we're not going to even use the top. So I am a person that uses what I have on hand, and that would be some old spray paint. I hope it works. I wish it had a date on it. This is a hammered silver look. It's just something that I had. And then I may or may not use this brown. I've got something else in mind as I was heading up here from the old barn that I thought may work better. But you don't even have to paint it. I just want to because it's a project, right, Bramble? All right, let's get started. First requirement for me is to have an empty Squeals of Joy Kalmbach feed bag. Peaches emptied that off this morning, and I'm glad because I needed something to turn my stool upside down on so I won't be spray painting all the grass. Now, for your enjoyment, we have a view that Bramble's trying to knock over of the cows in the background. And I'm just gonna paint the legs. Uh-oh, still got a place where the tag was hanging. That's not good, is it, Bramble? I don't know if I can get this off without a knife. Plan A did not go as expected. So I've been shaking this can of paint for quite some time, getting it all good and ready. It's been stored down in the barn for who knows how long. I go to pull the trigger and it doesn't work. And there is nothing that makes me more aggravated than a spray paint can that doesn't work. It doesn't have to be old. They can come from the store, and sometimes they don't work. So I'm gonna see if I don't have another little nozzle and see if that'll fix the problem. Well, this is take 2. I did everything I could with that nozzle. I cleaned it out. I cleaned out the tip. I got spray paint all over my hands. I got spray paint all over my jacket, so I had brought some paint clothes with me. I didn't think I needed them because I'm a pretty careful painter. Obviously, I'm not careful enough. So we are now going with brown. It's not what I intended, but I am not going to buy spray paint for this project. And I had in mind that I was going to paint it, so I'm going to do just that. This project is not meant to happen. I have 3 different cans of spray paint here. They're all old, but none of them work. Look at what happened. This is not because it's cold outside. Bramble, you're gonna turn brown. This is splatter paint, what it is. It's the way the nozzle is on the can. It's just halfway clogged up. This one right here will not spray. This one right here is the one that was spraying splatter paint. It no longer sprays, it's got pressure. And then this one, you can hear it, but it's nothing coming out. And this is not due to low temperatures. This is something faulty with the can. So I'm gonna try to clean them out and see where we are from this point. Bramble, if you just had some yourself dipped in some paint, you could do this job for me. This is crazy. Well, since I'm at the barn and I know this can of paint will work. It is wheel paint. I recently used this to paint some wheels on the trailer, so I know it works. There's no doubt in my mind. It's a little more expensive. I hate to use it, but it's going to be just like the other ones if I let it sit here, so I'm going to use it. Wheel paint that is argent silver. Here we go. Well, I'm kind of glad that brown did not work. And it really doesn't matter. Like I said, you don't even have to paint it for what we're going to do. But I had in my mind, I wanted it to be silver. So silver wheel paint is what worked for me. We now have a silver lemon. And I told you, we're not using the top. It's going to be used flipped upside down. So I think it's perfect. It doesn't have to be perfect, but I think this is going to work out very well. I've got to have some other things, and I don't have these, but I think I can get them fairly inexpensively. And I tell y'all what, I told you in the last video that we purchased a Toyota Prius for ourselves because Mary Carl is now 16, she's driving, and she wanted our Subaru that we have had for years now. So I do not mind whatsoever if I have to make a run to town anymore with getting 57 miles to the gallon. We did not get the plug-in version. We got the hybrid, which is gas, and it uses its electric system from the gas engine charging the battery. So it's not a plug-in model, but I have been extremely pleased so far, and just have no hesitation when I have to run to town. I just don't. I'm a person that buys a car, even if it's uncomfortable, just for the gas mileage. I know that sounds silly, but it's just one thing that I worry about is how much fuel I'm using. And I guess it's the, I don't know, cheap coming out in me. And I'm not cheap in everything. I know things that need to be quality and last a long time, but I think this is just perfect for us. So let's go see if we can't make a run to town and get what I need. I need to take some measurements too. I went after a wooden dowel rod, which I would have had to have gone to a store that was a little further away. But I found this garden stake that I think will work out very well. $3. Then I made a run to the Dollar Tree, where I found nothing in the Dollar Tree is $1 anymore. These baskets, I got one of this one, and that is because they only had 3 of this one. So, any guesses on what we're making? Stay tuned. I do believe I'm going to let the paint dry overnight, just so I don't have to redo anything. I may go ahead and cut this stick to length, and that way I have everything ready for tomorrow. I couldn't quite get away without my sidekick. She saw me come into the house, and that was all it took. She said, "I'm going with you, Mama. I didn't get to go to town." She loves to ride, whether it be a side-by-side or a car. Ready to ride, girl? At least we're in an enclosed cab, right? That's right. We're not going to get too very cold, and we'll be there in just a jiffy. Well, Miss Snow White, I think you have appreciated this light all day today, along with your 3 feathered friends. She's in a spot of sun there, if y'all can't see, but yeah, she appreciates the light on a cold day. And I hear somebody, and it's not you I was talking about. It's not. It was a grunting sound. Do y'all hear it? She's getting ready for bed. She's telling Pocket that it is time to go to bed. Come on in. Tuck me in. Come on, girl. You can come without her. You know this isn't where your bed's made. Come on around the corner. That's right. It's going to be another cold night tonight. I bet you'll have it ready by the time I get ready to go to the shop. She knows I'm here. She's not going to do it with me standing. What you talking about? Huh? Peaches, I'm building something. Any guesses? Well, I'm bringing this stake with me because I really don't know where I'm going to need to cut it off. I could have just measured it, but I want to look at it too. So I think it's probably, oh yeah, it's dry enough for me to touch it anyway. Bramble, you are the neediest cat we own. Yes, you are. As long as we're outside, you've got to be loved on, and if we don't pay attention to you, that's just not, something's not right. I hear your motor running. All right, I'm going to turn this upside down. Here comes Dee Dee. I knew she wasn't far behind. Let's flip this stool upside down because this is the way it's going to be. And I want my dowels, I want them to go right through there. Hope I got enough to make 4. If I don't, 3 will be okay. Can always add to it. But I think the green's going to work out well. All right, Bramble, let's measure. So we want to cut as many pieces as we can out of this one stick. And I certainly don't want to knock the paint off. You're going to measure for me, aren't you, buddy? All right, so it should be the same all the way around. We just want it to stick out just a little bit. I'm pretty sure they're all the same. Yep, 14. And I bought a 6-foot stick, so let's go over to the shop and see if I can't cut this with bolt cutters or what I'm going to need. And I also would like to drill a hole through it. So everything will be ready for tomorrow to assemble. I'm going to move the stool back inside so it can not get any kind of dampness on it tonight. Dee Dee she just miraculously knows when it's time to leave. And she never fails. She turns around and looks at me and makes sure that I'm following her. We're going. You know it too, don't you, girl? Jason warned me before I came to the shop that nothing is in its spot. Not where it's going to permanently be. But that's okay because I walked right to what I needed. I'm afraid if I use the miter saw that it might make that kind of crack, and I don't want that to happen. So I'm going to see if the bolt cutters won't cut it with ease. If they don't, I'll make other arrangements. But here gives a go. So y'all think this is my best bet to cut with? Or you think I'm going to need a saw? Let's see. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I am going to need some pliers. Goodness gracious, I didn't realize it was metal. So the inside of this is metal. That's why it's so sturdy. Maybe it's a good thing that I did not use the saw. I'll take some pliers and flatten that back out. I'm going to cut me 3 more pieces the same length. I definitely had enough out of 72 inches to do 4 cuts. So now I want to attempt to drill a hole in this with the metal drill bit. I hope the vise is in here. So the vise is right where it was, mounted on this table that used to be my daddy's workbench. That didn't flatten all the way, but it really doesn't matter if it's flat. Yeah, that's much better. Need it to not be the way it is. So I'm going to use the vise for 2 different things. One is making it semi-round again, and the other one is to hold it in place while I hope to drill a hole through it. So one other thing I needed to do was to be able to put a cotter pin, and I just banked on having some of these. I need 8 of them for each end. I'm going to drill a tiny hole in there, hopefully, and then flare the end of this so it will not come out. Oh, yeah. Just what I wanted to happen. I might have to hollow it out a little bit, but let's see. Oh, no, it's perfect. It is perfect. And it doesn't come out the other side. So I got several more of these to drill out, and we'll be on our way. Well, there's one thing that's got to happen if I want to make it anywhere. See that right there? I have to fill it with fuel, or else I'm going to be calling roadside assistance. And I don't like to call roadside assistance. I think I need to get me a truck that has a gasoline tank on the back of it, like Esso has diesel on the back of it. It's getting close to time to put everybody up for the evening. And before I go home, I wanted to show you guys a solution that we have came up with for the Victoria Crown pigeons. It is nearly impossible to get them steered the right direction to go inside the pigeon area. And when temperatures drop in the 20s and lower, we have to provide heat for them. So this time before last, I guess when it got so cold, we realized that for their safety, we could not try to coerce the new male to go into the inside. It was something that he wasn't familiar with. She doesn't have much of a problem with it, but he did. And I just didn't want to take a chance with anything happening, him getting injured from flying all around at dark when we try to put him up, which is what you need to do. There's no way to catch them. They roost up high. And so next best thing was for us to provide a heat lamp right up under, I don't know if you can see it or not, where they roost. There's a nesting box platform there. There's a roost that goes across, and that's right where they sleep, right under that heat light. And oh goodness, it's been such a good thing to not have to shoo those two, new male, into this building, because he's not so sure about that. And anytime you try to stress one out, that's not a good thing. So before it gets dark, show you a glimpse of the two of them. The male is on the right, the female is on the left, and she's still a good bit bigger than him, but they are doing very well. And so happy that this is working out. It is a heat lamp that if it were to, the bulb were to break, it's not going to shatter. It's going to be caught by that guard, and it's not going to cause a fire. And that makes me feel better about things, because their roosting area is right up under it. And I just plugged it in, so we unplug it during the day and plug it back in at night, and they get their places. No stress. All right, Tommy and Not Scott and Not Scott. Y'all look at all the feathers on the ground. It's definitely molting season for some Muscovy ducks. White feathers everywhere. Well, I didn't know where you went. When I got back out of the side-by-side to go get the gas, I thought you had gone home. Now you act like you are going home. Dee Dee! I bet you she comes when she hears this side-by-side crank up. This big horn is like a giant horn to her, because she doesn't want to walk. I don't know that I blame her. I didn't even crank it up yet, and look at here. She's back. Well, I came to see if the paint was dry, and there is no denying what time it is, especially when you get to the barn. What time is it, Tater? Yeah, it's about that time. It is about that time. I got to get my bag up that I used to spray paint on, get Matilda's bucket from this morning, and get everybody fed. Goodness gracious, the temperatures are going to drop tonight, but not quite as low as they did last night. So that's a good thing. But something y'all don't get to see very often is nighttime feeding. And while it's not officially dark, it will be in just a minute. So Bramble is going to feed everybody tonight, aren't you, buddy? I'm telling y'all, he's got to have his loving. And I love that about him. I'm not complaining. He's just a very affectionate cat. And Jason said he does not do him the way he does me. So I guess that means he's chose me to be his person. Well, we always have our routine when it comes to feeding. Everybody gets their measured out amounts of feed. For the goats, it's the Kalmbach. I can't do it. goat granola. Look at that. I mean, that looks good enough and smells good enough for me to eat. And goats are always first. They're the most challenging here for me to feed. This might be good. Sounds like Honey's not out here. Honey tries to come and challenge the goats because she wants to be fed first. And sometimes the emus come, the boy emus. Sometimes I get bombarded. This is what I expected to find. You just have to play a quick game of switcheroo and hope Honey doesn't come in, which she did. Honey, you're not supposed to be in here. Go out. Honey and Jessie, go, go, go. Good, good. Go, Jessie. Good. Now I only have one emu to get out that shouldn't be in here. I have to put my leg up. And then Honey got back in. Honey, 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 Honey. No, baby. You know you're not supposed to be in here. Jessie's so disciplined. She just stands right outside, waits her turn. All right. Get y'all on this side. And one on this side. And this goat granola has a higher protein in it. So they don't require as much feed. Yes, it's kind of costly, but then again, when you're feeding a high quality food and you don't have to feed as much of it, it all equals out. Well, I guess you're waiting on me, huh? Imagine that. I think you need to come be a house cat. I'm on board with that. You would get along with Lou and Edgar, I have no doubt, if you'll just learn to open the gate and let me out one-handed. So I saw something that's going to help me tonight, and that is that Gus and Loretta have gone to bed in the hay. So that's a good thing, because when they wake up, it's not good. It's not good. Pigs always think they need a meal, and they don't. All right. Honey sings for dinner. Oh, not so loud. You're going to wake them up. You know better. We don't sing at night. No, we don't sing at night. Only in the morning. All right. Boy emus. And gotta fill their water up. So here's what we do. Shut that gate back. Oh, goodness, I hear Gus. We gotta be quiet. Come on in. Good boys. All right. Take this bucket out here. The singing donkeys are last. One singing donkey. Both donkeys don't sing. Only one donkey sings. Come on. Come on, it's y'all's turn. Gotta do this really quiet. Loretta can't hear, but Gus can. All right. Jessie, I gotta fix your bucket, baby. How did that get off? All right. Listen. Get that bed. They never knew it was feeding time. As long as I can feed the cows, pocket, them waking up will be good. Just about every evening, this is what I expect. All four of these waiting up here on me to feed, while Matilda is over there eating hay. And she will come, but she takes a minute. All right, come on, everybody. still asleep. Jessie and I are eating. That's the only ones we have to worry about. Because if Loretta wakes up, she will come over there and she will knock that bucket off that fence trying to get to it. But it's been a long time since she's woke up. Meanwhile, guess what's going on in the stall? She's making her big bed for tonight. Bramble has to come say hi. She knows I'm standing here now. I thought you were helping Peaches make her bed for a minute there. We do have to shut her up on her side so she can have this stall all to herself. All right, big girl. There you go. We started doing that because we were scared that Pocket might step on her. It wouldn't take much. So at night, they're together, but the door's separated between the two. And we do always lock this door because Pocket's a smart girl. And she can let both of them out if she chooses. All right, Pocket's got her coat on. Peaches has got a big old bunk bed going on. And everybody else is tucked in for the night. I'm about to head home myself. And tomorrow we will come back and finish our project. And I hope y'all have figured out what it is by now. But I don't think you have. I don't think you have. Lights out, cats. All right, y'all, it's a new day here in Alabama, and I am starting off in the shop. I moved the stool over here. I figured, why should I come here, get tools, take them to the barn, when I could just bring the stool over here and finish our project? So, first thing I want to do is, I told y'all yesterday that vise on that bench was my daddy's, and this old toolbox was my daddy's. And I think in one of these drawers, I have some wheels. That's one, but I need 4. I say, when we get rid of something, I take the wheels off of it. There's some. All right, I got these. I'm scared that won't go all the way through the wood. I don't have to have wheels. These will work. But since I do have them, I may put those on in the end. But before I get to the wheels, I hope I got these out yesterday and left them. I did. I want to take each one of these garden stakes and drill a hole in the end of it. Put a small cotter pin in it so the makeshift dowel won't come out the other side. So first thing is, I'm going to drill holes in all 4 of these. I hear him coming. Meaning Jason, he's going to want to know what I'm doing. My next step is going to be to drill a hole through this leg and this leg. So this will slide through there. And then you can see that the little cotter pin will keep it from coming out. I think it's going to be in there tight enough to where it won't slide. So this may be an unnecessary step, but since I already had them, I decided to go ahead and use it. All right, I need to swap my drill bit. And I've got it marked where it needs to go. Now, whether this will be easy or not, I don't know. All right. Well, it did splinter a little bit and mess my paint up, but that's okay. We'll touch it up. So this is my end with the cotter pin in it. I'm going to see how well it goes in and if I need one on the other side. I think I must have a ghost. The door just flew open. Oh no, that's pretty tight. Yeah, that's good. That's really good. So I've got these 2 drilled out this way. Well, obviously I need 4, so I'm going to have to either go a little lower or a little higher, get the other 2 drilled out. One last thing to do is to screw our wheels down. All right, wheels are on, and as y'all can see, it's upside down, just what I wanted. So I'm going to stick my dowels in here, and we're going to head to the house with a bunch of zip ties to complete the project. And we are inside the house, where you will see Christmas tree balls over the floor because the cats have been up here playing, and our Christmas decorations have not been put up, but we've got one last thing to do, and that is to put our baskets on. And I'm just using these zip ties to get them on. I would have rather had white baskets, but I didn't really care. This is a functional project, but I also want it to look decent. I don't need my sunglasses. So we can put as many zip ties as we think necessary. I'm not going to put anything super heavy in here, so just make sure they're tight, and I think that'll be fine. And you could even do some smaller baskets and hang them underneath, and you'll see why in just a minute. Upstairs in our loft area, we have an attic space that's climate controlled just like the rest of the house. It is part of our house, actually. It's just a door that separates it, and that's where all of our Christmas stuff, all of our extra stuff stays. And while it's always there, it's never organized. And that is something that I want to try to focus on this new year, is to try to be better organized. Anything I can do to keep things in one place to make my life easier is going to help everybody. So now you probably know what the reasoning behind the old stool was. And I simply turned it upside down, put some wheels on it, which you don't have to do, put some dowels through it so I could hold some ribbon and whatnot, and then hung some baskets on it. You don't even have to do the dowels. I have a problem figuring out where my ribbon is and being able to pull it off. So that will make my life easier. Now I have a spot here for some more ribbon. I've got it on this side already spooled in. Of course, Christmas stuff goes on sale this time of year. You could put gift baskets here. I've got tape in one. I hung my scissors over the top, so that way I can just grab them and pull them off and then hang them back. But of course they could go in the basket as well, whatever works for you. But I think it turned out really, really good, and it's going to serve its purpose, especially when it comes to Christmas next year. I won't have to look here and there and everywhere to figure out where my stuff is. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope all of you have a very happy new year. Y'all be good.